start by introducing someone who I also want to pay tribute to, who is a colleague in the field of communication. She is a professor of communication at we call it the other Annenberg School. I suspect they call us that, at the University of Pennsylvania. She's the director of the Annenberg Public Policy Center, and we are thrilled that what she does and what we do have joined together. Please welcome Kathleen Hall Jamieson.
We don't actually refer to them as the other Annenberg School. We refer to them as Annenberg West. So we've tried to work out the nomenclature so that there's no implication that one of us is better. We are. But rather that we are geographically different. Annenberg East, Annenberg West. Actually, the schools we think are the best in the country, and that's plural, and we're really proud to be allied with them in any way. I wanted to offer a few quick observations about the statements made by the distinguished panelists. The Philadelphia study, which is being often cited now, that suggests that the news-ad ratio in politics is really out of whack, that is the 45-to-1 number, is one that should trouble us for a number of reasons. It should trouble us because that 45 number comes in the form of revenue to the stations that have not invested it in the news side to ensure that there is the informational context to make sense of the advertising. And we know that across the country, some stations take their obligations to the community seriously and translate those ad dollars into better quality journalism, but that most don't. And one characteristic of the winner stations here is they're the stations that have continued to do that. And it is that model that we ought to applaud. There's no absence of money in the so-called legacy media. They're still making lots of it. And they're making it in part because of the way in which we reach voters through advertising. And to the extent that we don't find a way through news to provide a context, the electorate is largely left helpless in an environment in which imbalances in spending tied to deceptions can shape public perceptions and change votes. And that's highly problematic. But there is, in the new media structure, a way in which we can get some compensation and start righting the balance somewhat. And the winner in the fact-checking category of the Cronkite Award has done that, to the extent that news only gets one shot at putting a correction in, and advertising gets many, many more shots to put the same deception out there. There is also an imbalance in the claim ratio between the corrected claim and the number of times that same claim airs and airs and airs and airs and airs. But in the new media context, in which people increasingly go to the web in order to get their news information, and the best stations have web presences that are drawing audiences that are comparable to, and in some cases higher than, the on-air exposure of the news that is broadcast or cablecast. When the web structure is doing a good job and the station promotes the web structure, and now I see an ad repeated, and I'm the vulnerable audience member, I can go any time of the day or night to go find it in the web structure. And what KUSA has done is created a web structure behind its news structure that increases the likelihood that if I want to go there to find its really good truth watches, its really good ad checking, I'm able to do that. To the extent that we can then marry that good web structure to a promotional structure in broadcast, we can drive those viewers over, but there are a lot of viewers who are coming to the website who aren't ever going to get this in broadcast news. And I think the future of balancing this out, apart from trying to figure out how we get more sponsorship disclosure, and apart from the attempts to try to increase the likelihood that management feels some pressure to reallocate the money that's coming through ad channel into the news channel, one of the solutions is going to be and increase the likelihood that the web presence is so strong and real and the public knows that it's there, that before you cast a vote, if you think there's something problematic about a claim, you know how to find it, where to find it, any time of the day or night, and it's as good and as clear with as much backup as it can be, because here's the second point. Given the abbreviated form of broadcast news, there's a lot of additional content you can load into the web structure that you can't get into the broadcast news segment, and that ought to increase the likelihood that we can knock down those deceptions more effectively. It's my pleasure to this year for the second time, say that we have a Cronkite-Jackson Prize for fact-checking tied to this broader award structure, and to say that this honors Brooks Jackson. Now, someone mentioned earlier the legacy media platform. Brooks is a legacy journalist. He is, in fact, a legacy journalist who's a platform all by himself. Because when he started doing high-quality fact-checking at CNN, he was pretty much alone out there. And it was really good stuff. We were really proud when he came over from CNN to join us to found factcheck.org. And we're proud to honor him by honoring distinguished fact-checking among those who are not legacy media folks. This is the bright, talented, new journalistic cohort that is going to transform this new media culture into one in which, if you want the political fact-checking and you need the political fact-checking, you're going to find it in broadcast, and you're going to find it in your web structure, and it's going to help you become a more informed citizen. And this team has won this award before. So why? Because when we order the candidates for this award, and we rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they are not only ranked 1, you want to give the rest ones 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to just skip 2, 3, 4, 5. Their work is that good. It is my pleasure to announce that this year's Cronkite-Jackson Prize goes to Denver's KUSA. It won the prize in 2013. We would like to ensure that we have more people whose quality is this high around the entire country, but these folks have really nailed it. The judges said KUSA continues to produce the best fact-checking segments for local TV, period. They called their 55 fact-checking segments in 2014 a model for others. They are. Let's watch a clip.
Political reporter Brandon Rittiman has a truth test of the messages the big money is buying for Democrats.
Really?
No, not really. This is totally deceptive. And so it's come to this, a truth test of an ad that has our truth test in it. To make it out like Governor Hickenlooper was responsible for Ebel's release from prison is deceptive. Okay, we'll be translating everything in English here on 9 News. Telemundo will be doing a Spanish version of this same truth test for its viewers. And today we're going to look at 2 ads running on Spanish language TV here in Colorado.
So the Koch brothers are spending millions for Cory Gardner.
This claim is unprovable. This is misleading. This is a deeply deceptive claim. That is, of course, her opinion. This is misleading. This is unfair.
Es falso.
False. Not that you probably needed help on that one. Udall's own words simply don't back that up, but the ad is hoping you won't know the difference. As one prominent Republican told me today, there's low, and then there's gutter. This is gutter. With your truth test, Brandon Rittiman, 9 News. By the way, ¿cómo se dice truth test in Spanish?
Prueba de la verdad.
Prueba de la verdad. I probably botched that.
Accepting on behalf of the Gannett-owned NBC affiliate is the person you saw trying to speak fluent Spanish, KUSA's political reporter, Brandon Rittiman. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. This is it's a great honor. We're very excited to be bringing this back home to Denver another time. And from a Cronkite School guy, you guys are endearing me to the Annenbergs right now. So no, this is absolutely fantastic. Look, all I can say is I'm very impressed and humbled to be part of an organization that places such value on this. As we heard talked about it, I think there is an obligation for stations to take some of this massive revenue, particularly in a swing state like Colorado, and put it towards debunking what goes out on the air. But not only have we done that in the form of airtime and allocating one political reporter to it as talent, we've also taken to hiring researchers each cycle. I had a team of 3 researchers, Amy Crowfoot, Kate Kornacki, and Jordan Sabalish, 3 grad students actually all from University of Denver with public policy knowledge. And the fact that the station is equipping us with those tools to do this work, it really allows us to do leaps and bounds more than we'd be able to do. Certainly you have to take the research and turn it into something coherent, but having that baseline level of work network really allows us to go the extra mile and do as much of this as really the viewers do deserve to have in a place where you're just getting absolutely bombarded. So I thank management for that. Both the station management and our news management have been phenomenal and very supportive of this effort. It's really amazing to see it all come together. My wife, I have to thank as well, who puts up with me and the smoke coming out of my ears at the end of the days when I do those pieces, because I come home pretty wound up sometimes. But yeah, no, this is absolutely fantastic, and thanks again. We're honored.
And I'd like to thank the people at the Annenberg Public Policy Center who helped us make this part of the process possible and also helped with the events coordination. Karen Riley and Kyle Cassidy and Eugene Kiley are in Philadelphia because the trains aren't running from Philadelphia to here. They really wanted to be here, but they've got a really good excuse. And Lori Robertson is here from our fact check staff. With thanks to them and to Brooks for all he continues to do for us, I'll turn the podium back over to Marty.